I'm just
Ye-
waiting for a few to join us here. Is that okay?
Yes, I can't, for some reason, I can't find the slide. I can't find it to share, but working on it. Give me just, should just be a minute, hopefully. It's not my superpower, so here we go. Screens. Well, that's not what I want. Sorry about that. Hold on just a second. I should.
Okay, so while we're getting started, I'll just welcome everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. You're very welcome to an AwakenHub information session. We're just back from our US trade mission from to Boston and New York, and we were very lucky enough to attend UMass Lowell while we were there and be hosted by Marianne Picard and her team. So following on from that and following on from collaboration with them in previous years, we are really keen to get more Irish founders applying for the UMass Global Challenge. And I'm just going to pass over to Marianne and welcome her to give us a bit of information about the program. And then we also we're delighted to welcome Breda O'Regan from Leah Eye Care. Breda was lucky enough to be one of the challenge winners last year, so she's going to share her experience. She is based in Cork, so this global challenge, although it is within UMass, it is very much on the radar and should be on the radar for Irish founded women companies. So over to you, Marianne.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for coming. Really thrilled to have hosted the trade mission this year. We're hoping we're a permanent part of your itinerary going forward. It was an incredible experience for us to have everybody. So, without further ado, this is the 15th annual 200K challenge. It did start out many years ago as a 10K challenge, as a 20K challenge, as a 25K challenge. We actually now exceed $200,000 worth of awards, but we are not going to rebrand it. So it will be for forever the 200K challenge. And yeah, let's take it away. So it's just me today. I'm just using the slide deck that we used for a previous info session, and we will have Breda speaking just shortly. My role at the University of Massachusetts is I'm the executive director for innovation at UMass Lowell. I also wear a hat with some joint programs with other campuses, such as UMass Chan Medical School, which is a point of care program. So lots going on. This is a slide that just really shows some of the support that we get from the government. In good government years, we're hoping for a better 2026 than 2025, but we do have NIH approval to run some of our programs, one of them being a point of care technology program. And I share this with you today because this solicitation is actually going to open in March. Not to confuse the session today, but if you're not signed up for our e-blast, I would invite you to do so, just to be able to take advantage of not only what we're talking about today, but other opportunities throughout the year. So this particular challenge is supported in largely by Hologic. And then we do have support from, as you can see, our QMIS. We have all the areas covered. So regulatory and reimbursement, product insurance, as well as liability insurance, product development. MIHI is another, it's a quasi-state agency that has stepped up with a cash award of $10,000 this year, which is quite exciting. UMass Chan Medical School is a close partner, as well as the others you see here. Mintz being our legal partner, with them our tax partner, and Cosina is all around prototyping and parts needed for devices. So this was a 2022 third place winner was Illuminant, and tech is not my superpower. So let's see if this video works.
Minds that come out of the Boston area, and kind of seeing it in one place really got me really excited about life sciences, of course. So it was a very exciting experience. This award is huge for us. It really go a long way towards making this a reality.
Good. I trust you heard that and saw that. That's my first successful video, so great news. So I think over to you, Breda, if you don't mind sharing your experience. Here's some questions that can guide what you say, or off the cuff is completely fine. We're just really thankful for you to share your experience with the 200K challenge last year.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so it's good to speak to everyone on what is a really fantastic competition. And so honored to be part of it. So, initially I heard of it through the trade mission when I was over in Boston, connected in with people. They said, oh, this might be of interest. It's in your area. So when I looked into it further, and I know Marianne, you had worked with Nova UCD as well, and I could see that connection and reached out. And I think, Marianne, you were really, able to answer questions, about it being an international, was it okay from an international perspective? So, really kind of, ensuring that we were right from that perspective. So the application process was, I thought very, business focused, what, you're trying to achieve, what's your business, why are you a breakthrough science? And what I really liked about this application, it was like, what would winning the M2D2 do for you, and how can we assist? So it wasn't just about, just doing awards. It was like, well, how can we help you with your goals as a company? So I kind of really, for me, that was the real attractive part of it. It was like really value add. You were like, I do need assistance, regulatory or, patent. And again, when you're in the global world and you're looking for people to work with, it kind of the partners you mentioned, really best in class partners to work in that Massachusetts area. So, getting connected in with them was really good. So yeah, so from an application perspective, I found it really, refining how you could articulate how you can be, your business, what's your challenge, and how, there's that unmet need. There was also, a video to present yourself as a company, 2-minute video, and also 5 slides, that kind of went through what your company was, really making sure you went high level and able to articulate yourself at that high level. And then once we were selected, there was work where we did a storyboard, so which was, I thought, a really beneficial part of the night. Before, as people were arriving at the event, and for a good bit before it and after, you could stand and you had your boards that went through your company, through your idea, and people were coming up, and it was a fantastic networking. And like, if someone said to me, what was, the real highlight of the event, was that networking to really top class players in Massachusetts, and the willingness of people to say, oh, that's not, pretty relevant for me, but you should speak to this person. And they would bring up that person and introduce it. So I kind of felt, everyone that attended was really there to make a really good experience for the selected people as well. So it was just that networking experience I just found, just so beneficial. And here I am a year later working with a good few of those partners that I would have met on the night, and, people that have connected in with me since then. And then on the night, then apart from the storyboard that you were presenting, and it was a really nice way to kind of, before you actually present it, you got to know the room, you got to familiarize yourself. For me, it kind of really settled, any nerves that you would had, and, took it. And then we did a pitch. Another really strong thing from the application process was that you got a mentor session on your pitch, on your 4-minute pitch, with one of the sponsors. So we were lucky enough to have Mints. Lisa gave us, real guidance. We did our pitch, and, kind of helped us really refine, focus, kind of, make it punchy. So like, that was an extra thing that everyone got. And, that's only ever helps if you get feedback on your pitch and be able to articulate your story. So that's just another really positive thing out of the experience. And I suppose, for me, we ended up becoming one of the cash prize winners of 25,000. So, that in itself, as a startup, it's huge money, as a startup to be able to do that. But again, as I mentioned, it was that networking facility. Marianne, you were always really willing to make those connections if we hadn't made the connections on the night. And I thought yourself and Alexia, they were really proactive in, you need to speak to this person, or you need to speak to that person. So it's the networking. I cannot underestimate how powerful the event was from networking. And Marianne, you probably agree that's the secret sauce.
I mean, it really is, but to hear it from you directly, as much as I tell people, it is nothing like hearing it from you directly, growing that network of experts, and just, fellow founders, whatever it happens to be. It's a village, right? An ecosystem is a community, and particularly in the innovation world, it's a community, and a community is made up of people who are connecting with each other. So it all makes perfect sense. Some people just don't always, understand that. A challenge such as this, we can probably move on to the slide, is it's open to academic researchers and startups from around the world. Particularly from the academic researchers, they tend to not be as adept, I feel like, at networking and making connections because they've been in a lab or they've been at a bench or whatever it happens to be, and they have this great idea, and it takes time for them to realize that they need all of this support around them in this community. So again, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and again, you can't state enough how important it is for networking and making these connections. And that's exactly why we do the posters, right? It gets a conversation started. And full disclosure, Brita, your poster is still up. It has a contingent from India just came through and saw your poster after the Awaken Angels visit. And then right on the heels of that was a visit from the U.S. Department of War. And they were going on and on about all the possible other indications for your solution. So it still continues to get a lot of attention. And that's exactly the point, right? It's not like one and done, see you later. It's like, we're a family and we want people to stick around. So, and we just found out this morning that we're having a visit from Thermo Fisher on the 18th. So it's going to stay up for that much longer. So yes, very exciting. So again, who should apply? Academic researchers and startups, literally from anywhere. No affiliation with UMass is required. We take no equity stake, no IP interest whatsoever in your company. It's literally, our mission is literally economic development to attract researchers who are looking to build startups in the Commonwealth, to grow there, and then to go back, right? They go establish a relationship in Ireland, you can do the same thing in reverse. The stages of development are early stage through Series A. We can help the most based on the resources that we have. Why should your startup apply? Or again, if you're an academic researcher, why should you apply? I feel like Brita nailed that. So probably doesn't really need to be repeated. What does 200K in in-kind services mean? It means expertise. So like an intellectual property audit, it's actually invaluable. We have to assign a dollar value just to come up with a name for an award, but it's actually invaluable. We do, our Mintz is our legal partner, and they provide the intellectual audit as an in-kind award. In fact, their award last year went to an Irish startup as well, was the Sports Impact Technologies. And I did check with my contact Bill at Mintz, and they are still very much in touch and still working forward. Mintz actually wears two hats. They can also help if you want to open a subsidiary location with us in Massachusetts. They can help with that as well. But they are first and foremost an IP law firm. So really making sure your IP is set in the US and good to go. And then again, I can show you further. There's also this was a prior year where CranioSense was from last year. The CranioSense was the first prize winner. You heard from Brita that she got the $25,000 cash award from M2D2. And again, just because of the challenges of 2025, we have been slow to announce. I am thrilled to share that we are able to provide that award again this year. Our Mass Life Sciences Center stepped up, and so thrilled to share that there will be a $50,000 cash award that does have to go to a Massachusetts-based either researcher or startup company, but M2D2 will again be providing the $25,000 cash award, and thrilled to share that there is, again, can go to anyone from anywhere. So this year, these are the highlights of the main points of interest for the 200K challenge. This is not all, though. There is another category, and the other category is hugely important, particularly to us as an incubator accelerator program. So the Hologic is interested in uterine health, pelvic, breast, oncology, particularly as it impacts women, non-surgical visualization, and we're always interested in point of care diagnostics. So those are those are some of the highlights, but there is, like I said, there is another category. Do not discount that. It is very, very important. Here's a detailed example. I feel like I don't need to read it to you, but that's Hologic is extremely active in the innovation space. So twice over, which is huge. I mean, it's a big deal for this to happen. So twice in the past 14 years, they have either licensed a technology directly out of this competition or acquired it. It has happened twice. The licensing came from a technology out of Cleveland Clinic, and the innovator was developing, they were calling it a Fitbit for your bladder. And I was actually the first person to read the application, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. They're just not even going to give 2 seconds to this application. They licensed the technology in Boston the day after the final event, and have taken it. I believe it's on the market. As a matter of fact, now it has been rebranded in a whole new name. But for that to have happened twice in this time period is quite in and of itself some data to prove the success of the program. Again, just some other examples of pelvic health that Hologic is specifically interested in. Again, these are the sponsors again. This is where you're going to want to go to m2d2challenge.com. And again, all you're sharing is non-confidential information. I can't say it enough. I say it at least 10 times a day. We're not looking for the secret sauce. We're looking for a very high level, non-confidential, to bring awareness to your technology, to bring you some partners, to bring some networking, to bring some awards, to move your technology forward. And, of course, at the end of the day, our mission is economic development. So do we hope that you'll take up space with us? Absolutely. Do we hope that you'll come to the US, grow here? Absolutely. Is it required? However, no. And we like to see our companies do the same thing in reverse. So I don't need to tell you, the linkages between Massachusetts in particular and Ireland are so strong, and UMass to a whole new level, I feel like. So some tips for success: focus on the need. What are you solving? Why is it important? The solution, high level, the solution, not the science. You don't need to go deep into the science. The business proposition is huge. How do you plan to make money for it to be successful? Highlight how it's in scope with this solicitation, and then really demonstrate, that you're team oriented and that you're coachable. It's hugely important to move any of these forward. And of course, we would love to have you join. So here, this is the QR code to get tickets to attend. If you're going to be in the area or come just for this, we would love to have you. If so, please let me know. We like to be as hospitable as we can. So we'd love to know if you are going to be here. Don't forget to register for this. And it is an in-person only event. Of course, like everyone else in the world, we were remote during COVID. It was not the same experience, not even like night and day. So we did go back to in-person only. And this is the timeline. So the applications are open. It takes about 30 minutes for the first level. To upload an executive summary, again, non-confidential, is optional. To upload a video, again, is optional. We were having some tech issues with the video, so I'm not even sure as of this morning if that option still exists. But in any case, the applications will close, and then we'll take some time to down select to 10 finalists that we will announce at the beginning of March. And that's really when we get down to brass tacks. We will be coaching the finalists, getting them ready, collecting posters, helping in any way we can to develop those, and then have everybody ready for the March 25th final pitch and networking event, and award announcement at the end of that evening. So again, visit our website, go to the challenge portal in particular. Again, it doesn't take more than 30 minutes for this first stage, so we invite you to put your hat in the ring. We'd love to have you. Some FAQs. Again, does an entrant have to give up any equity? No, absolutely not. Our travel expenses paid. As of this morning, they are not paid. We are still working on that, hoping. There have been, as Brady can attest to this, as a state institution, there have become some challenges with moving cash from the U.S. to a foreign country. We feel like we have smoothed out that path. At Britta's expense, she had to kind of bear the brunt of it, but it did work out in the end. So we will report back any updates there, but if we can cover trouble or not. So how do you select finalists? Again, it's on the previous slide. Is it in scope for the competition? Can we help you? Is there something we can do to move this technology forward? If companies or even researchers can be too far along that they don't need anything that we have to offer, it doesn't make complete sense to do that. Some people will say we raised a Series E, can we still enter? Absolutely, but make it clear that you're really just looking for partnerships and more like high level industry exposure as opposed to an IP audit. Like you probably don't need that then. You probably have some technologies that have cleared the FDA already, so you're familiar with a pre-sub, experience, things like that. So, what will the coaching process be like? I think Britta probably did that better than I can. I've never been on the receiving side of that, but the whole idea is to hone that pitch, get it down, hit the high notes in a short amount of time. It's like a commercial on TV. I feel like I'm dating myself when I say TV these days, but it's like a commercial. You're kind of trying to build some excitement for the technology that you're building, and they'll come over and see you at your poster after. They've seen you before. They're going to hear your pitch and then go, oh, that is really cool. I need to go talk to them after. And if you're selected as a finalist, yes, it is required in person. Do you need to relocate? Absolutely not. In fact, I would love to relocate to Ireland right about now, but I'm hoping, but no requirement to relocate. Again, we would love to have you establish a subsidiary location in the US, particularly in our center. And it's not expensive to do that, and happy to talk about that more when the time is right, but absolutely not required to relocate. Where can you get more information? There's the link right there. And I'm always happy to answer questions as well. So I feel like don't ever hesitate to reach out. And there's a QR code there if you want to scan it quickly to get you straight to the application. If you have any challenges or questions at any point, again, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me see if there's another slide. Nope. Okay. I can leave that up for a moment. I did see some things coming in. It's hard to see the chat or Q&A while I'm sharing, so I don't know if anyone can read those out. I'm happy to answer.
I think the details in the chat was just Maria sharing all the links to make it easy for people on the call to access. I suppose we could open it up for any questions if anybody has any burning questions, although I do feel it was kind of as clear as possible and all the details are on the site. But if you do have any questions, raise your hand now and we can take those.
For sure. Or if you think of them after, don't hesitate to reach out either. So.
Yeah, I think the priority is the closing date's the 15th of February.
Yes.
So again, if you're thinking about completing an application, or even if you're on the fence, I would recommend putting an application anyway. If you're not in, you can't win. And at the end of the day, even the success of Britta's experience, the fact that the application form is an easy enough process, it will be well worth it. And do within your networks or your connections, if there's any woman in this sector that you think could benefit from the challenge, please do share far and wide, because obviously we would like to see a lot of Irish women applicants for this, and some more winners availing of the expertise and the cash as well.
Yes, for sure. I was going to say, if you can share it, that would be great. And again, this first step, some people have told me it's only taking 20 minutes. I've heard 20 to 30 at the most. Very high level. It's essentially, it's all information that you already have. It's essentially copying and pasting into the appropriate boxes. So, but again, if anything comes up and you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. I don't know why not sure why my email's not on this slide. I thought it was.
So, well, following the call, we'll share with all those who have attended and registered. We'll share a copy of the information, and also Marianne will send out your email address for those who weren't able to join the call as well.
Yes, perfect. I did put my email in the chat as well. So
perfect.
Good.
Well,
All
that's
right.
great. Thanks, everybody. That was a quick lunch and learn today. Get the applications and do please keep us informed if you've submitted an application and also of your success through the journey. Thank you
Yes.
all very much and
And again,
happy.
thank you. I can't thank you enough for having me. So thank you again.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much, Marianne, and thanks so
Okay.
much, Brita, for coming on and sharing your experience with us. We really appreciate it. There's nothing
Yes.
like hearing from somebody that you know already that has gone through the process. So that was great.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, happy
Right.
Tuesday, everybody. See you later.
And
Bye.
take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.